another round of injuries, subs, and everything in between has meant I've dropped back basically into that 18 to 19k range, which seems where I probably should be finishing for the year after another disappointing round with 22-12. So anyway, before we jump into this video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's jump into this video here. So as you can see, a 21-12, a round rank of 49,053, a really disappointing round, and then an overall rank drop of 2,585 down to 18,669. But anyway, let's jump into the team and what went wrong. Making this bigger for you guys, and you can see that Lockie Whitfield, Dane Zorko, and Jack Sinclair, the pair of them worked pretty well, and they ended up on 109, 99, 131. That was a pretty good combo there, as yeah, that worked really well there. Matty Roberts 84, Zach Reed 75, and Riley Bice 55. I think Riley Bice, it's his time to finally go. I just need to find an upgrade plan with him, and we'll discuss that probably later on in the week. As yeah, he is probably needing to go. Like I said with my fantasy team reveal, I think my trades are heavily dependent on what comes out about Horne-Francis, further details, as we expect further details. And then also about Jack McRae, as he copped a knock as well. So that'll sort of determine what my plans are in terms of trades, and we'll just see how that goes there. As let's just do this early on. There's potential for something even like this. And I just go potentially like this, and 530k if I move Sheasel into the back line. Could, if I get someone like a Sheldrick potentially or something like that, that would leave me 499k, and then I could go plays I can afford, something like this. Cannot really get to anyone particular, and then potentially something like that. Can't really get to anyone in particular, so there's that one. But something like that has always propped up, I guess. But we'll see about it, as there's also potentially, if I just go here and quickly look, break evens, is there anyone that I really particularly look at and go, I need them? I wouldn't say so. Maybe a Liam O'Connor, who's like 20k cheaper, and can move Connor Stone into the back line, I guess, or something of that regard. But yeah, there's not much particularly that I can do that I like, but yeah, there is potential, I guess, somewhere to maneuver around and get some way up, but I don't really like the prospects too much. Even just with the extra cash of like a Elijah Hewitt or something like that, and then going to an O'Connell, maybe that could be the way that I go, as O'Connell did have a decent enough score, so like something like that, and that would leave me 526k or so to trade in basically anyone that I want. And looking at that, you could get a Wangani Malira, who looked poor in their most recent game, Jordan Clark, etc. And then I don't know, even anyone else that I can really look at, 3-round averages or something. I could look at a Brian Marek or something like that, just looking here quickly, but there's not really much that I like the look of particularly, to be honest with you. Maybe a Max Holmes as well, who scored a 76, but he's got Western Bulldogs, and I don't think he has. Max Holmes could actually be an interesting one, as he did get attention in the most recent game. It was, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, that'll be interesting actually to potentially grab him up, and that would be yet another defender to grab. So yeah, there's always potential for things like that, as well as just looking at the forwards. Is there anyone that I really particularly like? Ryan Marek could be another one that I just grabbed there, and then we use other avenues to get other guys, I guess. But yeah, just something or other of that regard could be the way forward, I guess. But we'll just have to wait and see on that front there. But yeah, it's pretty bleak, I would say. But anyway, moving on. Midfield, Zach Merritt, 65. That's probably where the real killer came in terms of my round. He had an absolute stinker, and looks like he's going to be available for somewhere in that sort of 520k range, as he's gone back-to-back stinkers. And yeah, for buying him, I think at around the when did I buy him? I think I bought him around round 6 for the absolute what he's given out. It really hasn't paid out, which sort of sums up my year. I'm buying guys and then they go on a terrible run. So we'll see if there's anyone that I can really look at to grab up this week. But there probably won't be, knowing me. But yeah, that Zach Merritt, not the best week. Nick Dacos, a 95, a pretty poor week, but I wouldn't be surprised if he somehow went and beat it. His break even of 162 as he's playing North Melbourne, but I thought this would be the run to grab Nick Dacos, but he seems to be just playing injured at the moment, which really does suck. Harry Sheezel had a really poor day by foot. And that kind of meant that he didn't do anything and is now probably going to drop back in the pack. So we'll see how that works out there as well. Jordan Dawson, a 1-3-2. Oh, you know what I actually can do? Actually, I've just realized what it is. Riley Bice and say an Elijah Hewitt. What's his break even? 83, yeah. Elijah Hewitt, 4. You know what I can actually do? Simpson. Right there, Simpson, that leaves me 570k, and then that enables me to basically get anyone that I like, Dunkley, someone like that, or potentially someone else of that regard. But yeah, I could look at pretty much anyone now in that range there as, yeah, I could look at pretty much any player, which that helps me out quite a lot if I can look at any player to grab up. As that'll be probably what I do. Cooper Simpson is the obvious rookie this week from memory. Let me just see. What is his break even? As he's got a minus 53 break even, which pretty much means that he's going to gain, you would expect, somewhere around that 50k next week, which would be huge cash generation if he can just survive 2 or 3 weeks, as that's all we really need, and he looks good in that role. But anyway, back to the horrible team. Jordan Dawson, 132. He was pretty good as well as he stood up there. Yeah, he provided what we needed from him, which was really, really good. And one of the good things also, if we just look at this, and I'm just going to digress a fraction bit away as well. Again, Zach Butters, a 206 break even. He's not going to hit that, which means he's going to be sub 600k you'd expect in 2 weeks' time, as he's gone bad game. I think he's still got he's going 117.53. So yeah, he's probably going to have that in that 53 is going to be in his system for a couple of weeks, which means he's basically destined to go below 580k. No matter what happens, he's almost destined to go below 580k. If we just look at this quickly, you'll see that he needs basically 135, I think, in each week to go non-sub 580k. Which he's gettable at 580k. I think it might actually be 130s across the board to not get below that 580k, sorry. So yeah, he's a guy that I'd be targeting as well, but because I think he's going to become very, very cheap out of the buy there himself. And we've seen him run through tags and just be able to absolutely obliterate them. So definitely a guy I'd be targeting there. Once he gets cheap. I don't think Bont's going to get cheap anytime soon. He did lose 9k, has a 150 break even, but yeah, I don't think he's going to be getting cheap anytime soon, as he's putting up 140 bombs each all week pretty much. But yeah, Jordan Dawson, absolutely fantastic. He looks a changed man with the likes of the Matty Crouch out of the side. I think he's averaging 122.5 with Matt Crouch out of the side, which if we look at players and then look at averages, we'll see that that is basically going to place him at an M5 for averages out of overall. And if we look at removing the 2 rucks, that puts him at M3. So I guess you could say an 05 and then an M3. For Jordan Dawson when he's got Matt Crouch out of the side. He looked amazing, and he's got West Coast, which is a positive matchup. That could be potential VC area or captaincy areas, I would say. But then again, you've also got like Tristan Cherry playing Collingwood, etc., and other guys. So we will look at that later on in the week. Kayla Sarong returned a really good score, which is positive. I just don't know about his long-term ability to just continue up going 110s, which we really need from him. Levi, 68. He's got an 86 break even, has Hawthorn. I just think I'm going to be holding him for a little while longer, as I just need to upgrade around. And yeah, Bice needs an upgrade, etc. Which if Bice and I upgraded Hewitt at the same time to Simpson, that would then allow me to cover Jason Horne-Francis. And then when Horne-Francis comes back, if McRae isn't out, that would basically put me at a full primo forward line, and then I'd have just basically 3 upgrades left in our Hawley, Lindsay, and Ashcroft if I was to upgrade, as well as a flex position. If I was able to, I guess, upgrade the backline this week, or effectively the midfield, but it would turn into just having 4 upgrades to go with 16 trades left, I guess. So yeah, we're going to run it tight. I don't think I'm going to finish the side, but we'll run it tight. Onto the rucks, and Max Gawn and Tristan Cherry both did their job. Tristan Cherry is now ahead of Max Gawn because he had a monster game in a contested beast game, and it looks like he's gonna potentially get the R1 spot this week just because of the break-even game. They think that Max Gawn's going to go 182. I could tell you that that would be ultra surprising if he did that with the form Grundy's in alongside Laddams partnering him. So yeah, that was a monster score from Gawn, but from Cherry, to beat out Gawn by 31 and be the second best for the week for me. So yeah, that was a huge VC captaincy score that I doubled up there to get that almost maximum points for the squad. Bailey Smith 156. He has been amazing this year, and it's pretty much been close to what's his season rank for this year in terms of SuperCoach. He is ranked 15th in terms of SuperCoach averages, so that is 15th, so he's a little bit lower. I feel like, how is that? Is that not really? I swear he's better than that. No, he's ranked 6th. I don't know what that's talking about being 15th. But yeah, he has been amazing. He's averaging 140 last 3, which I want to say is best in the comp. Nope. Tristan Cherry's averaging 160, Max Gawn 153, and Bailey Smith 140. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with what I did with going Tristan Cherry, just because that run continues to open up, and I think the runs for the likes of Rowan Marshall and stuff like that start to really shut up, because if we look at Rowan Marshall this week, he has got the likes of Gold Coast, who are a pretty poor side in terms of scoring against 4 rucks. And then the week after, Rowan Marshall has Melbourne. We know that Max Gawn is pretty tough to score against. And then the week after that, he has got the likes of, he's got the bye in round 13. And then round 14, he's got Western Bulldogs. I know that English is not the greatest. And then in round 15, he has got, where are they? He's got Collingwood, and then I'm pretty sure round 16, he's got Adelaide just to top it off. Nope. He has got the likes of Freo, and then he must have Adelaide. There's an Adelaide game coming up in here soon. Nope, he's got Hawthorn. When's this Adelaide game? I swear he had an Adelaide game in there. He's got Sydney. Does he finish off with Adelaide or something? When does he have? I swear they've got an Adelaide game coming up, or have I just completely stuffed it? They do not have an Adelaide game, which is quite surprising. I thought that Adelaide was sort of the tip, but I'm pretty sure Gold Coast and Melbourne, these are all toughish matchups. If we actually just go to this here, if we go to season long DV here, and then we go to the rucks, and then we look at it for the next sort of 5-6 weeks, I'm pretty sure St Kilda is a tough run for the next little bit. -6, they've got that round 10 hasn't updated yet. So if we go here, they have got -6.95. They've got in round 11, they've pretty much got red matchups for the next little bit. If we go even take away round 16, and look at it, they have got a -9.61 for, I'm pretty sure this might be fantasy. But yeah, this is a horrific run for the next couple of weeks, whereas North has a +7. So if you rated those two guys evenly between Cherry and also Marshall, they should effectively have a 16-point per game difference in the next, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, take away 1 for the bye, so 4 games. So that should be effectively a 64-point split between those two in the next couple of weeks. And that could also just be even more amplified, I guess, by the fact that you'd expect Cherry to outscore Rowan Marshall by 15 points in general. So that could be a 30-point splitter between them in the next 4 or 5 rounds. I know that he potentially has cash generation, Rowan Marshall, but yeah, that could also be interesting as well, because they did lose, so they may also just put in someone else They may put Harry Boyd back in, please, for the sake of it. But yeah, Bailey Smith, huge. Petrarca, not the best. Isaac Rankin, a 90, not the best since I brought him in. Horne-Francis, 22, and he's done his hammy, so that hopefully is a 1 weeker, basically, and then has the bye. We hope that that works out, because if it does, he only really burns like 30, 40 points or so, and then he'd be sitting on the bye anyway, so he could potentially only really burn us. Let's look at this. If we take his quote-unquote average of... Wait, let me get his true average, because that is an injury-affected average. If we take his true average of 101, and then we take Caden Cleary or Elijah Hewitt or even Cooper Simpson, who would be basically playing in their places, right? If we take their average of a 60 or so, 60, 62, etc., I am losing 40 points to Jason Horne-Francis, being out injured and holding him if it's a 1 weeker. So that's why I'm almost saying that it is worthwhile to hold him. Worthwhile to hold him and potentially trade off like a Caleb Daniel in his bye or something like that, etc., that way. Or just move Caleb Daniel into the midfield. But yeah, that's why I'm potentially holding on to Horne-Francis through his bye, just because he's a guy that could easily come back and then return well. And that would save me a trade for... There's not really worthwhile trading him for 30 or so points. Daniel, and then Henderson I used as the loop just because I was scared off about Boyd, and I actually gained a singular point by doing so because I would have had Elijah Hewitt on field. So yeah, happy about that I gained the point back from that, as yeah, Elijah Hewitt probably has to go alongside Riley Bice, to Simpson and a Primo. I just have to check with my buys with who I'm going to grab, but my round 15 buy is already hectic, so I'm probably going to look at and my round 16 buy is kind of hectic already. So yeah, I'm probably going to look at a round 14 guy, as I don't really have any there. So yeah, I'll look at probably potentially even an Isaac Heaney. As he gets more support, he could be an actual guy to look at 517k. As he's gone, I think, ballistic in the last couple of weeks and has Melbourne this all week. Nope, he's just gone ballistic against Carlton. So that could be an interesting play there, going Isaac Heaney as the Primo to get that for this week. So, and McRae also flex. We'll just have to see how that goes with that injury, because that could be another one, especially because I have a non-playing bench, sort of, in a way. That could be a little bit annoying there with that regard. But hopefully we get some players coming back. I don't know if Cornerstone had the best week. Carroll didn't have the best week, but he should still be playing. Huswaite, I don't think comes back. I don't think he had the best game in the VFL. Gross was sub and still made 40 odd, so that was all right. And then you've got Camporelli, who I don't think has the best game either, so I don't think he's coming back. Boyd could come back, but I don't think they will. And then you've got Cleary and Hewitt, who have sort of biggish break evens, but I'll probably be trading Hewitt to the likes of Simpson just to gain that cash there available. But anyway, that is the video there, going through my SuperCoach team. A little bit longer this week, as I just tried to sort of get my head around what I'm going to do. The next video will be probably just a couple of the game reviews for the Saturday games. I won't do the Sunday games, I don't think. And then you'll also have the trade targets for Fantasy, as I'll be doing. And that'll come up. The trade targets for Fantasy will be Tuesday. That'll be recorded on Monday, uploaded on Tuesday, and then you'll have Wednesday a live stream for SuperCoach trade targets as well. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.